Hi everyone, this is Teresa from Base 10 Montessori, and today I'm making a video mainly for people who are going through AMI training, but I'm going to offer some free resources. So you might want to stick around, you might want to listen to what I'm going to be offering, and it might be worth your while. So with that being said, I want to talk about one thing that I've gotten a lot of requests for, particularly in my email. And a while back, I had made a video on going to AMI training and how to study and prepare for AMI exams. And a lot of people saw the spreadsheets that I had developed for studying and really wanted access to that. And for the longest time, I have been hesitant to share them. And I have a couple reasons why that is. One is because they're my personal study guides and they are personal to me. You know, they weren't meant to be perfect. They weren't meant to be distributed publicly, right? So they were kind of personal, and that was part of the reason. The second part of the reason was that I wanted to make sure if I did release these study guides that I could do so in a way that was still very respectful to AMI and also my training institute at the Montessori Institute of San Diego. So those were two things that I really wanted to consider before I decided to release a study guide for my subscribers. You know, and there are other reasons why I was really hesitant to share them. Like, for one, the best way to learn something is to make your own study guide. The best way to learn something is to put the effort into organizing the information in a way that appeals to you. It really is better if you make your own study guide. So that's why I was very hesitant to share this information. But today I've decided I'm going to give it a try. I have reformatted one area of one of my albums for you guys to check out, for you guys to download. And if it's helpful, great. If it's not, I understand. So with that being said, I am going to start putting out these study guides. Now, in order to access these study guides, you're going to need a locals account because that's where I'm going to post everything. A locals community is very much like a Patreon. It's where you can have special access to things that is not on YouTube. And for right now, my community is free. I'm still building my community. At some point, when I have enough support over there, I may go to a membership basis where it's $5 a month for a membership. But for right now, what I'm going to be putting on there is going to be free for everyone. I may also at some point with these study guides, as I create them, I may at some point decide to create a teachers pay teachers account, and I could sell them for a couple dollars on that platform. As of right now, I'm not doing that, mainly because it costs me money to do that. So I would have to make enough money to compensate the fee I would have to pay for uploading to something like teachers pay teachers. And I'm not opposed to that, but I want to make sure that there's enough support out there before I pay 30 bucks to create something that people aren't buying. So hopefully you understand my hesitation to do that. So right now they are going to go over on my locals page. So whenever I update and upload a study guide, it will be over there. It's going to be free. So if you're going through training right now, this is the prime time for you to access all this stuff without having to pay money. So that's where you're going to be able to find it. And I will put a link to this PDF file in the comment section down below. You will be able to link to it. And we are going to look through it a little bit today so you understand what's going on. And I do want to go over some of the issues with having a study guide that someone else made. There are some issues, particularly in the practical life area, that may make it difficult for you to use this study guide for you personally, because practical life is one area where it could look very different from institute to institute. So maybe this one is going to be a bit difficult for you to use. So we'll get into that. But there's also another thing I really want you to consider if you're looking for help, if you're looking for consultation, if you're looking for advice, if you're looking for one-on-one mentorship. I really want to be able to offer more specialized videos that are specific to people's requests. And I want to be able to do that on locals. And one of the things I'd like to do on locals is for people who subscribe over there, what I'm going to do is if you request a certain lesson, if you request a certain behind the scenes look at my Montessori albums, because I have a digital copy of all of them, so we can digitally go through it and take a look at a specific lesson, and we can go over the lesson line by line as I have written it. And this might be helpful for some lessons that I don't have access to, like wooden hierarchy of numbers is one I don't have. So the only thing I'd be able to do is show you my actual lesson plan. So if you're looking for a line by line, go through a lesson in my album, look at a diagram from my album, that I'm going to consider doing that on Locals, and preferably it would be really nice to do that as a live stream so that we can have real-time interactions, so that you can ask me questions in real time. And so that's where I really would like to go with my Locals community, is if you're looking for very specific help with finishing your albums, writing your theory papers, getting access to these study guides. If that's something you're interested in, that's all going to be happening on Locals. And for right now, like I said, that's free. This is just a test of the study guide, of the format. And so I am going to adjust it and make it better based on feedback. So please download it, use it, and feel free to give me feedback into the formatting. With that being said, I want to show you what Locals looks like really quick, and then I want to switch over to the actual study guide so that you can see what that looks like and start understanding what it is that I'm doing. Okay, so here we are over on my Locals community. I've made a post that I've pinned on my Locals community, and this is where you're going to find the study guide. And you're just going to go right here, and you'll be able to click on it right here, and you'll be able to download it. So there's where the study guide's going to be. I'm going to share it. I'll put that link down below, and you'll have access to it. So it'll be really easy to access. But yes, you are going to need a Locals account in order to get this. I know that some people will email me and ask me if I can email it to them. The answer is no. This is going to be to support my subscribers over in Locals. So please support me there. That's where you're going to be able to access this. I'm not going to be putting it out in any emails. So this is where you're going to be able to find it. Now let's actually move to the study guide document, and I'll give you a little bit of a tour of what I'm doing and how I'm organizing things, and also how you can adjust this for your own study notes. All right, so here we are at the study guide. Now, this is not all of Practical Life. This is one area of the Practical Life album, and this is going to be preliminary exercises. Right here I have the area, which is preliminary exercises. I have the order of the lesson. I have what the exercise is called. I have following exercises. And in the preliminary exercises, there's not a lot going on in following exercises. So you're going to see a lot of blank spaces for that column. Then I have the point of interest. So for instance, the point of interest in the walking lesson is making no noise and not touching anything. So that's the point of interest right there. And then the direct purpose of the lesson on walking is balance, self-control, and independence. There's probably not going to be much for the indirect purpose in the preliminary exercises. I think we just have one. Folding cloths, indirect purpose, geometry. That's the only one we've got in preliminary exercises. And for this first area of the Practical Life album, these lessons happen as soon as the student enters the room. And I do have some abbreviations in here, and one abbreviation is CCM, and in the notes column, I just put control and coordination of movement. So that's what CCM means. And then of course, you'll be able to make as many notes as you would like to the side. And the reason why I put extra green spaces here, these lines, is because my album might be different than yours. This might not be the order that your lessons are in. And so you might want to scribble something out and put a different lesson in. And so this space right here between the lessons is for you to make adjustments. So you might have some different notes. Maybe your trainer did a little bit different point of interest and you need to make a note of that, right? So feel free to use this document and make adaptations so that it reflects your training. And that's the most important thing that I want you to get out of this. This should reflect what you are learning. I can only write what I learned, and so that's going to limit you. You're going to need to make this your own. And I'm trying to make a format that's flexible for you to do that. So if you have any better ideas, if you have a better way to adapt this study guide so that it's more flexible for more people going through training, just let me know. I'm happy to hear it. I will note that I am not super technical with computers. I am not great at designing documents. This is not something that I have a forte in. I am doing the bare basics in a spreadsheet format. So with that being said, keep in mind, I might not be able to do what you can do on a computer. I might not have the skills that you have to make really beautiful documents. These are going to be very, very simple, basic documents. Again, if you want something really beautiful, if you want something that only applies to what you've learned, you're going to have to make it yourself. But this is what I'm going to make available for you, and I'm going to go through section by section and upload them to locals. So hopefully that makes sense. If you have any questions, leave them down below and I will definitely get back to you. And if you have any requests for looking at lessons from my album directly that you want me to post on locals, go ahead and make those comments down below as well. The most important thing is I really want to be able to reach out to those who are going through training. I want to be able to mentor you. I want to help you finish your albums. And in order to do that, I need a better platform than YouTube. Locals is going to be my platform for that. So please consider subscribing over there. And with that being said, that's all I have for this video. Hopefully this makes sense. Hopefully you're excited about getting these study guides, and any other comments, leave them down below. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video.